Okay, we want to give him, we want to kind of simulate vision. He's going to have a circle around him that he can see, and anything beyond that radius he won't be able to see. So like a range. Okay. Now, what we're going to do to figure out this range is we are going to have a look at some numbers that will log out into our game. We'll figure out how far away the player is. So let's go to control flow and we'll scroll down and let's grab this comment block so we can kind of describe what we want to happen. So that's add comment from the bottom of control flow. Okay, so in my chase function, I'm going to add a comment here saying set movement speed to the difference between player's position and my position. And I'm going to now get another comment and put it above that one. I'm going to use this comment to describe how we're going to limit this chasing. I want to say if player is in range, start chasing. Okay, now how are we going to determine what the range should be? Let's use that log block. If we go to control flow and grab this log block, let's chuck that underneath our comment that we just added there. What are we going to log? How does this even work? What does this log mean? This means chuck some text in the developer console. If we play our game now, you'll see this text will appear. If I click on the debug icon here, we can see it's logging to debug console. So I can use this, and a lot of times developers will use this to get information about their program that they're working on. So instead of logging this text, I'm going to throw this text away. I'm going to log what the distance to the player is. I'm going to use that to figure out what a good range is. So distance finding blocks from sensing down the bottom. We've got angle from myself to instance other. Angle from myself to instance other. We want this block. We want to change angle to distance. And then this instance other, we're going to throw away. And we're going to use our first instance by tag player block. Let's grab a copy of that. Duplicate that. Pop it in there. Okay, so that'll tell us the distance from myself to the player. And let's log that. So now that will appear in our debug mode. Let's play this again. And we'll turn on debug mode. And we can see here are some numbers, 150 point and then a lot of decimal points. We really only need to worry about the first three numbers, 150. Further away I get, we can see what the distance from the player to the enemy is. It's at here it's 366, at here it's 283, 230, 190, what is that, 130. So this is kind of up to you to figure out what you think a good range for the NPC should be. When should the enemy start running at the player? You probably don't want it to be off screen. That's about 500. I'm going to say if I get this close, what is this, 276. I'm going to say if I get within 275 pixels of the enemy, I want it to start chasing me. So you can make that number whatever you want. So 275 is what I want. Okay, I don't need to be logging that anymore, so I'll disconnect it, but I will keep this distance block. I'll get rid of the log block though. Okay, what are we going to do with this information? Well, we want to know if the distance to the player is less than our range number that we've determined. So we need an if block for that. We're going to go to control flow and grab this if block. And should we put it in here or should we put it in constantly? I think we might actually do the limiting part in our constantly block. So we're going to say constantly, if the player is in range, start chasing, and then chase will do this. So if, and then we'll put our chase block inside the if the distance is less than the range, so we need a less than block from operators. Grab that equals block there, change that to less than, distance goes in the left, and then our range number goes in the right. So from operators, we'll grab a 0, pop that in there, and our distance, let's make, what did I say, 275. So if the player is closer than 275, it's going to start chasing. The enemy will start chasing. Okay, let's try that out. We'll click play. Now, I was pretty close. What if I'm somehow able to outrun this guy? If I go down to here, is he still chasing me? Whoop. No, he's not. Okay, good. And it might take a little tweaking, really. Like a lot of stuff, when you're making something, you want to mess with the values. I might make that range a little shorter. I'm going to try 200. See what that's like. Okay, so I have to get right up to him for him to start chasing me. Cool. Pretty good. Okay, so that's the chasing part done. Let's close that. And we'll close this script. And we'll save our game. File, save, game.